Hello, everybody, and welcome to Action Theater Extra Dose. Today's feature is 47 Ronin from 2013. That is where. So, yeah, this is from 2013. Uh, Synopsis: wayward, after a warlord vanishes their kind, a band of 47 leaders samurai must seek help from Kai, an enslaved half breed, in their ultimate fight for vengeance and redemption. How you doing today? Deleted scenes.
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Good. Good.
All right. I do want to remind everybody who is watching at my end that I did at the last second have to switch out streams. As of right now, I do see in my end of the chat Enigma Severus. So thank you for joining us, sir. Yeah, the movie today is 47 Ronin and held to JPRPH1 channel member. Words and pictures. Good to see you, sir. All right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, as Bill said, this the film is 47 Ronin, and this movie is it is based on the 47 Ronin legend. A group of samurai whose masters dishonored, murdered, and they played a long game, so to speak. They hatch a plan to avenge him. And there have been a number of movies that have been made, books written. There are descendants of these samurai who are alive to this day. However, this movie kind of takes a bit of a different approach. And it is more kind of comic booky, little 300. Keanu Reeves was not originally intended to be in this film. He plays a character who was added in later, and you can kind of tell in places. But yeah, okay. This is a movie that had a bit of a rough production history, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Hello to Gambit, 1987. So, all right. Do you want to remind everybody that this is effectively a fan commentary? We cannot air the film live because it is not public domain. If you are watching live, you can follow along on Cosme. The film is available on Fandango at home. It is also, I believe, also at present on HBO Max. I know, or at least it was at one time. I don't know if it's still there. I think it is. So you can find it there. Probably places like Tubi and Pluto TV tend to have older films like this. So, yeah, that would be the place to find it. If you are not watching along with us live. But if you're with us, You can follow along on Cosme or sync up with your own copy, since you have one. The Cosme link should be at the top of. Well, it's not actually in my current chat. I will have to type that back in there. But once we have done that, I'll hook everybody up in the Cosme. All right.
Loading it up right now.
Hello to Santiago Chavez and Lady Mist.
No, Lady Mist.
And of course, we have the meeting of the younger Keanu Reeves and the young Hiroyuki Sanada. And of course, this is obviously where the more fanciful elements of the story kick in.
He's already concluding that he was the actual one who killed the beast.
Yeah.
I like how he did that with a glance. I like how this movie has it has very elegant scenery and backdrops. That is a very fair assessment, Igma Service.
Words and Pictures is correct here. That was Mintanaka's The Lord. Says he know I know only because he's the homeless man in Perfect Days from 2023. He's also in a movie I would recommend called The Twilight Samurai. Some other recognizable faces in the film. Tadanobu Asano, who plays Lord Kira. You might remember him from Battleship. He's also in the 2007 movie Mongol, which was about Genghis Khan. Hiroyuki Sanada, of course, you know from John Wick 4. Also, Twilight Samurai, the film I brought up. He's Lord Toranaga in the remake of Shogun. Mika is played by Ko Shibasaki, and she was in Battle Royale. The actress who plays the witch is Renko Kikuchi. She was Oscar nominated for the movie Babel back in 2006. She's been in some other movies since then. So there are definitely some familiar faces in this film. Yes, he was. He was in. Yeah. How could I forget that? He was in Last Samurai as well. Yeah. Thank you, Enigma. Somebody's pulling a fast one.
Give us thee thy long sword.
Our timestamp is 30 minutes, 47 seconds. Get you know. How does one hold back their tears? It's a very difficult thing that is asked and tasked by her.
Hello to you, Sanji. And hey, Halsey, long time no see. Halcyonic Kaiju. Good to see you. All right. So they left them in the pit for a year. And this is not makeup applied to him for the movie. This guy was really tatted up like this. Inventorial combat. Liquid. Yes. Well, if that happens, he'll want you to. He read the instructions.
Dirty, spoiled brat, this guy.
Yeah, pretty much. But then again, they usually are, aren't they?
Yeah.
And when we get to our next film in this series, you're going to see a guy who's about the same. We'll get to that. All right. Hello to Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her channel, Fluff Chick Productions. Connie Clary.
Hello, Connie.
And of course, Hal C had a question for Bill. Are you doing karaoke later?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Freaky witch with blue eye.
Purchases Takeda Zuma wrote 47 Ronin in 1748, age 57, 8 years before his death. Age 57, 8 years before his death, wrote many excellent plays for the prestigious Takamoto Puppet Theater that closed 19 years later. Her performances are seen today in the National Bunraku Theater, very close to the original site. As Bill was saying, the stage setting's looking great. That made me think this looks like a theater stage production, so I looked it up. Thank you, Original Pictures.
He's got owl eyes like an owl, and his face is like an owl. That was really cool. That was really cool. That sequence. Is he a samurai or a sumo wrestler?
No, this guy again. Well, it's more like 3. Okay. I'm still not seeing how this is a sequel to The Brothers Bloom.
She is very creepy. Very creepy witch lady. Is that one there? Was he also in the Last Samurai with Tom Cruise?
Yes.
I thought that was him.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure. Is that the guy from 16 Candles? Oh, sexy girlfriend.
I don't know. He's not in the cast list that I've seen.
Kind of looks like that guy.
Yeah. Oh, snap! It is him. Yeah. Yep. It's the donger, kids.
You beat my face up.
There are people in this movie that I do not remember was in this movie.
Our current timestamp is 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 16 seconds.
Who knows?
Canada.
Oh, there we go. Witchy poo.
Good riddance. Oh, yeah.
Thousands of people from around the world visit the graves of the 47 Ronin to pay their respects. This film is inspired by their story. All right. Other films that have told the 47 Ronin story are Genroku Chishingora from 1941, directed by Kenji Mizoguchi. This two-part 4-hour film is a solemn and highly stylized version adapted from a kabuki play. It was released during World War II and focuses on the samurai code of honor. The Loyal 47 Ronin, 1958, a color film directed by Kunio Watanabe. This version was a box office success in Japan upon its release. Chishingora Hananomaki Yukinomaki, 1962, directed by Hiroshi Inagaki. This is one of the most famous Japanese adaptations of the story, featuring a large all-star cast, including Toshiro Mifune. It's known for its beautiful cinematography. Have The Fall of Akko Castle, 1978, directed by Kinji Fukusaku. This film explores the psychological drama of the Ronin and portrays them caught up in a tragic, unhonorable but suicidal mission. 47 Ronin, Shinichi no Shikaku, 1994. Master director Kon Ichikawa created this version, which is known for being a slower paced and more character-driven drama. Westernized and fantasy versions, of course, from 2013, the movie we just saw, 47 Ronin, starring Keanu Reeves. This American-produced film takes a highly fictionalized fantasy action approach to the classic tale. The story was adapted to create a lead character who is half Japanese, half British, outcast, and includes mythical beasts and magic. Last Nights from 2015. This action drama starring Clive Owen and Morgan Freeman is a loose westernized adaptation of the 47 Ronin story. The plot follows a band of warriors seeking revenge for their dishonored master in a fictionalized medieval setting. And that's the movie I might do as a watch party one of these days. And from 2022, Blade of the 47 Ronin, a sequel to this film, believe it or not.
Really?
Taking place 300 years later in a modern world where samurai clans exist in secret. And it was released as a Netflix original. All right, on to the skulls from IMDb Pro. 47 Ronin was released Christmas 2013. Budgeted at 175 million, going on to gross 151,783,839 worldwide. So it did get its money back, folks. All right. Moving on. Was nominated at the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films, aka the Saturn Awards, for Best Costumes and Production Design. Nominated for the Golden Reel Award at the Motion Picture Sound Editors USA for Best Sound Editing, Music in a Feature Film. It was nominated at the IGN Summer Movie Awards for Best 3D Movie and Best Fantasy Film. There are two versions of the film. The international cut, which was the version we just saw, and a 128-minute extended edition.
Hmm.
All right. Production status: script December 8th, 2008, May 11th, 2029. Pre-production October 2nd, 2010, February 4th, 2011. Filming began February 28th, 2011. Post-production began June 14th, 2011. Reshoots August 20th, 2012. Post-production again September 1st, 2012 through April 20th, 2013, with the film releasing April 20th, 2013. Filming locations including the Raleigh Studios, Budapest, Felsőkört Utica 9, Budapest, Hungary, Isle of Skye, Highlands of Scotland, UK, Pinewood Studios, Everheath, Buckinghamshire, England, UK, Shepperton Studios, Shepperton, Surrey, England, UK, All right, on to the trivia. The arrows for the film were made by Michael Reap, a famous European arrow maker. A small amount of arrows were made in museum quality for close-ups. This was Carl Rinch's directorial debut. While all but two actors were Japanese and unfamiliar to Western audiences, Hiroyuki Sanada is a very familiar face, largely due to his appearances in Lost, The Wolverine Helix, Westworld, and Avengers Endgame. And of course, as we brought up, Last Samurai, and since then Shogun. According to Keanu Reeves, filming was first done in Japanese for the sake of the supporting cast, and filming was done in English. This is the 7th cinematic adaptation of the 47 Ronin incident after the 47 Ronin, the Loyal 47 Ronin, Shishingura, the Fall of Akio Castle, 47 Ronin, and The Last Ronin. However, this is the first Hollywood cinematic adaptation. According to costume designer Penny Rose, everyone had a customized costume in keeping with his or her background. We based it on the culture and what the shapes would be. Everyone's in a kimono, but we've thrown a kind of fashion twist at it and made it full of color. This was the film debut of Rick Genest. He's the guy I pointed out has the full body skeleton tattoo. He passed away in 2018, 5 years after the film was released. This film was not screened in advance for critics. Due to studio interference, the film saw several script changes during filming and a radical re-edit during post-production. The part of Jorik van Wageningen, if you don't remember him, he was in Chronicles of Riddick and the David Fincher version of A Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. Who originally had a significant supporting role as captain, but was cut back to a silent cameo due to these decisions. This is Jin Akanishi's debut in a Hollywood film. Carl Lynch was originally wanted to make this film as an art house samurai film. When executives at Universal saw an early cut of the film in 2011, they had concerns about the story and ordered script changes. They also slated another week of shooting to make Keanu Reeves' character more integral to the film's finale. Carl Lynch was rumored to have been kicked out of the editing room during post-production. Keanu Reeves was hesitant to take on the role of Kai as he was worried his character wouldn't feel integrated into the main arc of the story. The character of Kai seems to be patterned after Minamoto Yasutuni, a 12th century warrior said to have been trained in martial arts by Tengu. Hiroyuki Shinada and Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa both appeared together in Revenge as the same character, Satoshi Takeda, the main character's mentor. The screenplay for this film was featured in the 2008 blacklist of the most liked unmade scripts of the year. The Cinema Score reported a positive B+ grade from first weekend audiences. Carl Rentz clashed with Universal over the final version of the film. Universal wanted to make an effects-driven fantasy blockbuster akin to Avatar or Lord of the Rings, while Rentz envisioned the film as more of a drama such as Gladiator or Kingdom of Heaven. Released in Spain under the title The Legend of the Samurai. The film was supposed to come out in November 2012, but after primary shooting was complete, and just prior to the release, studio demanded more scenes for Keanu Reeves to capitalize on his star nature, and to insert a love story involving Reeves' character, as well as add in more fantasy battle scenes in the style of The Hobbit or Harry Potter. The film's budget then ballooned to $175 million because of the complex reshoots and a lengthy post-production period. While not a success in cinemas, it did well on VOD, DVD, and Blu-ray. After the Japanese box office results came in, Universal wrote down the initial budget costs for their quarterly results before the film got released in the US. The film has almost nothing in common with the original historical epic, being set in a world of witches and giants. Reshoots were done in London during late August 2012, delayed by the Olympics, and the filming of Keanu Reeves' directorial debut, Man of Tai Chi. The witch's eyes have the medical condition called heterochromia, which is also referred to as Oedipus eyes, as the Greek character had eyes with mismatched colors. Composer Javier Navarrete did a score for the original cut of the film that was ultimately not used. The literal translation of Ronin means wave man or men, as it pertains to samurai who are not regularly employed under a daimyo, aka a feudal lord. Thus, such samurai move around, quote, as being cast about the waves, hence the name Ronin. Keanu Reeves is 1/4 Chinese Hawaiian, dispelling the whitewashing / white savior arguments of many. Reeves' paternal grandmother is Chinese Hawaiian. His father is of mixed Chinese Hawaiian and Portuguese. Which character seems to be based on Bake Kitsune, literally translated as fox spirit, a yokai, spirit, monster, or ghost. It has the ability to shapeshift into human or other creatures in order to trick humans. The Dutch island must be the Jima. The story takes place between 1701 and 02, and Dutch were the only Westerners allowed in Japan for 2 centuries since 1638. They were confined on the Jima Island in Nagasaki Harbor in 1641. All right. Now for some historical facts. Here's what really happened, folks. The historical facts that in 1701, the Lord of Ako, Asano Nagori, was appointed to carry out certain duties for the shogun at his court in Edo, now modern-day Tokyo. One of the shogun officials, Kira Yoshinaka, treated Naganori with such contempt and insulted him to the degree that as a matter of honor, Naganori attacked Yoshinaka. The shogun commanded him to commit seppuku, which he did immediately. The 47 samurai who constituted Naganori's bodyguard lost their lord and became Ronin. They pretended to accept the dishonor, and for 2 years they bided their time while plotting revenge. In 1703, when the time came for them to act, the 47, with the exception for one who was in his 80s, carried out their plan. They entered Yoshinaka's estate, found him hiding in an outhouse, and killed him. along with a small number of his men. Once this was completed, they took his head to Naganori's grave in a temple outside Edoi. When they surrendered to the shogun and committed, then they surrendered to the shogun and committed seppuku. They ranged in age from 15 to 77. As one had been ordered to stay behind, there were only 46 Ronin, not 47. The one who survived was a teenager named Terasaka Kichiman, who had been sent to Akko to carry out the news of the victory. Since the marketing focused on the participation of Keanu Reeves, the movie was and still is falsely accused of being a white savior story, in which a Caucasian outsider character saves people of color from a dangerous threat. However, Reeves only has a supporting role in a mostly Asian ensemble cast. And even after the reshoots that were supposed to expand his role, is not the center of the story. When Kira met his end, it was as a coward who had been discovered hiding in a shed with his concubines. He was too terrified to commit seppuku as had been offered, so his head was removed by force with Asano's actual dagger. Nice. Did it with the Lord's knife. Not only did it with the daggers, so he went slow, guys.
That would be pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
Pretty messy, too.
Yeah, very. Unlike what is depicted in the film, Oishi's son, Oishi Chikaro, who was 15 at the time of the raid, was not spared by the shogun and committed seppuku along with the others. Only 46 Ronin committed seppuku. However, as one of them, the youth Terasaka Kichiman, had been sent to Akko to convey the news of the death of Kira. He was pardoned by the shogun and lived until the age of 87 and was buried alongside his comrades. Unlike what was shown in the film, Kira was not a rival of Asano, but a corrupt minister for the shogun. Asano was not middle-aged, but quite young and not aware of the proper decorum and protocols for interacting with an official of this importance. The result was that Kira was highly offended. After this, by not offering a sufficient bribe to calm him, Kira insulted Asano on a response by attacking the dagger in his face, but subdued required to commit seppuku. The Lord Kira hated population. The people hated the Ronin at the time of the raid, and as the event traveled, the people cheered them and offered them food and drink all along their route. It should be noted that not only do the graves still exist, but so does the clothing worn by the 46, along with their weapons, their homemade armor, Asano's dagger, and the receipt given when Kira's head was returned to his clan. All of this is kept in the Sengaku-ji temple adjoining the burial sites. Names of each of the 47 Ronin was recorded for posterity and are still known more than 300 years after their deaths. All right. And the scrolls are closed for IMDb Pro. As some of you may have heard, the director of this film, Carl Rinch, he's run into a bit of legal trouble since. He was supposed to direct a film for Netflix that was supposed to be his, after he kind of got out of director jail for this. He was going to do a film for Netflix, a film that ultimately didn't get made for whatever reason, depending on how many people you ask. He is currently being sued by Netflix because supposedly he pocketed the money that they gave him to make this film. And he is actually up on fraud charges. He could go to jail. So I guess, stay tuned, keep your eyes on the trades and see how that goes. All right. That's That's all I got. I do advise you out there, if you haven't seen any of them, to go and check out the other 47 Ronin films, especially the traditional Japanese films. Go and check those out. I did see last night the film with Morgan Freeman and Clive Owen. It's actually pretty decent. So if you ever come across that, give it a look. It's an interesting film. And as far as this one is concerned, I liked it a lot better than I did the first time I saw it. Took the money and ran. Yeah, it seems that's what he did. Yeah. Says, I wish they had made this an art house. That would have been art, but that would mean a niche audience and they needed to make cash. Yeah. Yeah, this was a movie that was kind of stuck from the start, guys. It was changed quite a bit from what was written. You have a director that wants to make an art house kind of realistic samurai film, and then you have the studio going, no, we want to make Lord of the Rings. So take that as you will. We've all seen movies where there was studio interference. Who's to say that movie would have been better? You never know. It's a crapshoot with any film. You never know what's going to work. I did find myself liking this better this time around. So I was kind of surprised. Or maybe I was just too distracted, or maybe it just caught me on the wrong day. I'd say this was like a decent rental. Kind of just, deciding for myself, Yeah, still with us, Bill.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Enough of my yakking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll be doing the karaoke later tonight about 8 p.m. Pacific. That would be about 11 Eastern, I think. If I'm off on the hour, sorry about that. And do come back and join us for Western Cinema Presents The Unholy Trinity tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And again on Thursday with round out and finish Samurai Month, The 13 Assassins. Film that I'm looking forward to. I have not seen it, and what I read up on it, I'm very enthusiastic about watching, viewing that one. I do hope you'll come and join us. I want to thank each and every one of you awesome supporters, Words and Pictures, Connie Clary, Lady Miss the Emoji Queen. Thank you so very, very, very much. Appreciate you. It's always great to see you, Words and Pictures. Enigma Service, friends of the channels. Let's see. Hyclonic Caju. Yes, I will be doing, as I just said, some karaoke. I'll be posting shortly. And Deleted Scenes, Gambit 1987. And our friend and buddy, JPR PH1. Thank you. that's what I got going on for the next couple of days and later on tonight. As I always say, always remember to be excellent to each other. Party on, and we'll see you on the next one. Deleted scenes.
All right. And I would also like to thank everyone who joined us here today. Interesting film, bit of a history to it, but yeah, look into the original story of the 47 Ronin, and see some of the other films. It's an interesting story. Thank you all once again for joining us. Sorry about that technical hang up earlier, completely my fault. So I'm glad everybody was able to join in over on my side there. All right. So as I always say at the end of every show, from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.